Vice President Binay is the best leader to succeed President Benigno Aquino III, according to a latest social weather station survey. The SWS said that out of the 1,800 respondents asked in face-to-face interviews, 37% mentioned Binay when asked to name 3 leaders they think will be worthy to succeed President Aquino, whose term will end in 2016. Binay was followed by Senator Grace Poe with 21% and Interior and Local Government Secretary Mar Rojas with 19%. The results cheered up Binay after being accused of plunder over alleged overpricing in the construction of some projects when he was the mayor of Makati City. Senator Poe said the survey results were inspiring but not enough to shake her resolve not to run for a higher position. Secretary Rojas was not available for comment, but Malacanang said the Aquino administration remains focused on reforms and programs that would lead to the achievement of the goals under the Philippine Development Plan. And ayun na, matibay si Vice Presidente, no? Parang
I was shocked.
amid everything.
Shock why?
Kung nagulat ako.
Nalaman pa rin naman kasi siya nung kahit
Yung kaso niya.
sinasagawa yung hearing. Kasi medyo mataas yung number niya before nagkaroon yung mga scandals.
Pero sobrang taas pa rin. I mean, 37, ang kasunod 21.
Well,
guessing kasi,
but if you look at it, it's still within striking distance. One analysis nga there, 37. If you look at it, that means 63% of the people are not voting for him. So kung magkaroon ng pagkakaisa yung 63%,
So kailangan isa na lang na tao yun.
talo. No, it's still too early to tell. You also don't know kung bababa pa rin yung numbers ni Vice President. Kaya nga ang threshold nga dito kailangan ma-maintain niya if ever yung at least 40%.
Oo.
No?
Every survey bumababa.
And these are still not the people who are going to run. So, for example, may mga mag-drop out dyan, yung mga votes sila may go to the number 2.
Yes.
Correct,
So, and you have to remember yung kay Manny Villar, no? Kay former Senator Manny Villar, he was number 1 for even up to middle part of the election. And then on election day mismo, dun siya bumagsak to 3 or 4. From number 1.
Ano yung issue niya yung C5, no?
C5, but he was number 1 all throughout Tapos on election day, tsaka siya
Hindi
bumagsak.
naman nag-number 1 all throughout.
Except middle election,
Si Pangulong Noy was number 1, but his number started to go down by January of 2010.
Yeah.
Alam ko yun but it didn't go that much lower to bring Manny Villar at par. No? So, parang yun ang solid base ni Pangulong Noy. And then from then on, umakyat na naman.
And feeling ko lang, parang in line pa rin doon sa sinabi ni Diego. Parang ang Filipino kasi pag tinanong, di ba, kung ano minsan yung top of mind nila, yun yung sinasabi nila. And given na hindi pa nga nagde-declare ng candidacy yung ibang mga posibleng tumakbo, feeling ko on top of mind lang nila probably si Binay. Kaya, yes, so siya yung nabanggit. Pero tulad nga sinabi ni Kong, it might change. The game still has a big chance of changing.
Yung isang malaking issue na kailangan bantayan ngayon, dahil nadidelay ngayon yung kaso ni Pemberton. No, they filed a motion to suspend proceedings pending their appeal to the Department of Justice, asking that the charge be brought down to homicide and not murder. Ngayon, syempre, ang may jurisdiction dito para mag-decision rin yung korte whether to grant and stop the proceedings so that the DOJ can review the case. This is really a process that is allowed under the rules, no? Pero the maximum number of days that the court can allow for suspension is around 60 days. The important question that has to be resolved by the Philippine side, by the government side, does this now stop the running of the one-year period? Prescription. Dahil baka mamaya iba-iba yung interpretasyon kung kailan dapat magsimula yung 1 year. At kung hindi magkasundo yung dalawang panig sa interpretasyon kung kailan magsisimula ng 1 year, magkakagulo na naman.
Diba, pero usually yung 1 year, yung prescription na 1 year na sinasabi nila is pag may defined case already na up for trial already.
Well,
but now it's still undecided whether it's homicide or murder.
Ayun nga. Pero kailangan maging klaro sa lahat yan dahil the US syempre may want to get an interpretation that would favor the US citizen. No? So 1 year can be taken maybe from the time he was already under detention.
Yeah.
No? Or our side naman would say dapat from the time the trial begins. So ngayon, dito magkakaroon ng magkaibang interpretasyon, magkakaroon ng problema tayo. Dahil syempre, kung papaboran yung position ng Estados Unidos dito, kung ano yung kailan magsisimula yung 1 year upon detention dahil nakadetain na siya. No? So, ang lalabas niyan, maubusan tayo nawalan na tayo ng maybe 1 month, more or less. No? So, ito yung isa sa mga kailangan pag-usapan at kailangan maging malinaw dahil ayaw natin sa pag malapit na yung 1 taon, nagkakagulo kung kailan ba matatapos siya.
Kung dun sa, with regards naman dun sa custody issue, I don't know kung na-answer mo na tong tanong na to, pero para na rin sa paglilinaw ng yung mga televiewers natin, what difference does it make kung ang custody ng, willing naman ng US na ibigay si Pemberton every time na may hearing, dun sa, na nasa atin yung custody niya?
Well, ang pagkakaiba dito, syempre you assert your right no, as a sovereign nation na dapat hawak mo yung mga accused. No? Kasi ganito rin yung tanong, will the US grant that the Philippine Embassy would hold custody of a Philippine soldier who commits a crime in the US? No? Base sa visiting force agreement, hindi pwede. No? Dahil hindi naman pinaglaban yan ng panic natin. So dito nagkakaroon ng masabi natin unequal, no? Unequal na pagtingin. So dapat para sa iba nating mga kasama, dapat patas lang yung mga alintuntunin ng isang kasunduan.
Yung media coverage naman, pinayagan na ba?
Yun,
Kasi isa
wala
sa
pa
mga
ako.
dahilan kasi nila, Attorney Harry Roque, is ang nanay ni Pemberton lives in the province. So, parang hindi siya pwedeng pumunta na everyday, wala ata silang budget, etc. Every time na magkakaroon ng hearing. So, they want daw media coverage para makapanood na lang yung mommy.
Well, that may be a reason, but that's not the only reason that the court will consider. No, she can always follow the proceedings through the newspapers, no, and I don't know what other facility, radio kung meron man, no, ang mga updates tungkol dyan. Pero kung yan lang ang pagbabasihan, baka kulangin pa, hindi pa klaro sa korte yan. No, I will leave it to the discretion of the court.
Okay.
So, iyan yung mga issues na kailangan bantayan at ito nga, no, yung pagbaba nga from murder to homicide is another issue in itself. No, dahil ang kailangan nga dito, kailangan makita yung mga pieces of evidence na prinesenta sa city prosecutor. Ngayon, yung allegation ng abogado ni Pemberton na panay conjectures, conclusions, not based on facts, etc., etc. So, that's their right to say that. Now, ultimately, it's the court that will determine that. Now, whether to relegate the crime to homicide, well, toss coin na yan kung anong tingin rin ng DOJ dito. The reason why it's being pushed, no, syempre, pag homicide, bailable yan. So, isa sa mga importanteng issues. So, maraming issues na umiikot dito sa kaso, pero yung importante nga na kailangan mo nang ma-resolve bago yung homicide or
Pero
bailable.
Pero para
also
malinaw
is
lang
yung 1
sa
year.
mga tao, ano yung difference ng murder sa homicide?
Well, yung penalty to be imposed is higher.
No, I mean in terms of if the crime itself.
Tsaka with intention, diba?
It will depend on the facts given with regard to how Pemberton killed Laude. If there was treachery, no, these are aggravating circumstances that maybe without the presence in the case itself, no, homicide talaga yan. Pero kung may treachery, premeditation, no, use of excessive force, this would bring the crime up to murder.